Morning, gang. It's Jay and Ian, and we are going to talk about how to make a twig fire for Scouts. One of the big things we notice coming up through Cub Scouts and teaching about fire making is there's a lot of mistakes that people make that make it a lot more difficult to get a fire going, where if they were to do the correct type of preparation, they really wouldn't have any issues. So what Ian and I are going to go over is how to collect your tinder, your kindling, your fuel, and how to make how to get some tinder bundles going and how to light the fire. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned, and we'll go over everything and we'll get a fire going. All right. So what we're going to go over first here is proper fire prep. As you can see here, we have a really large array of different types of prep, but I think it's really important to do it in the right order and to have enough of it. So first, Ian is going to pick up our wood shavings, or our shaving bundle. So here for your shavings, you notice it's all the boys like whittling, right? When they get their whittling chip, the first thing that they want to do is start carving on a stick. Well, they kind of do it without a purpose. This is your purpose of it. If you can take a stick with your pocket knife and get a hatful of shavings, that is enough of a bundle to help get a fire going. You put your petroleum jelly cotton ball in there and your ferro rod or your fire spark that they sell at the Scout store. That'll light right up and off you go. So once again, you want to be able to fill up their Scout hat with that. The other thing you can do is you can make what's called a tinder bundle. So what Ian is holding here is a bunch of dried grasses that we split, that we broke in half, and broke in half. It's all very dry. It's going to catch a spark really easily. So you can use a tinder bundle there. Easy to find around camp just by pulling the dead grasses. Next thing we're going to look at is we're going to start with our kindling now. You notice we have a pretty big pile of it. So the idea here is to have enough materials for 3 fires, okay? So that way if your first attempt isn't successful, you still have more material to go by, plus you have material for the next day when you wake up. So here, this is, what size kindling is that, Ian?
Pencil.
Lead.
Pencil lead.
That's your pencil lead size. So that, once we get our tinder bundle going, or our shavings, this is going to be the next thing that we're going to add, but we're only going to add a handful, as you'll see here in a couple of minutes. What's the next size we have, Ian?
The lead.
That's our pencil size.
Oh,
so your pencil size is what you're going to put on after your pencil lead size. So once this catches, then we're moving to our pencil size thickness. And once again, just a handful is all that you need. And then we move on to what size, Ian?
The thumb or thicker.
The thickness of your thumb or thicker for that, okay? So that is going to be what's going to help maintain your fire. And then we have a pile of larger sticks as well for maintaining the fire. So why don't we go ahead, and you ready to put all this together there, Ian, and
yeah,
we'll get it going? All right. So give us we'll get everything all set up, and we'll be back here in a moment. A couple of other materials that you need before you get your fire going. You need a bucket of water. You always need a way of being able to put your fire out. You want to make sure that that's nearby where your fire pit is or your fire ring. We happen to have a fire pit here in our backyard. The other thing you need is you need a fire starting kit. A fire starting kit, what I like to have it clearly labeled and everything together. So in my fire starting kit, I have some char cloth that Ian and I made. I have a ferro rod or a striker for making sparks. I have a container of matches, waterproof matches with a striker inside of them. I have a waterproof pill container with petroleum cotton or petroleum jelly soaked cotton balls for fire starter. I have some pieces of old inner tube. The inner tube is great because you can light one of those with a lighter and it'll stay lit for several minutes. I keep a lighter in my fire kit with a wrap of duct tape on it just to help with holding things together. It never hurts to have extra duct tape. I have a few pieces of fat wood. Fat wood is great for helping start fires. And more fat wood and some oil wipes. Oil wipes will catch on fire as well. So I have several different ways about going to make a fire. So let's go ahead and get our fire built and we'll get her going. Stay tuned. So the first thing we want to do is we want to prep our fire making area. Here, cleared out fire pits, I have a base put down. It's just a split piece of wood. It's dry. That way it's not on the bare, wet ground, which can add moisture to your tinder. So we don't want to do that. We want something that's flat and something that's dry. I also have a backstop to it. That backstop is going to allow us, shows you a demonstration, to lean your materials against it so that it doesn't snuff out the fire and it keeps oxygen going on the bottom there. So Ian, why don't you go ahead and grab our tinder bundle, our wood shavings. So Ian's grabbing our wood shavings and he's going to put a big pile. We'll just dump the whole thing there, Ian. Oh, there you go. See that big pile of shavings there, gang? Nice and dry. Ian's going to grab a petroleum jelly or Vaseline covered cotton ball, and he's just going to fluff that up a little bit. Go ahead and pull it out. Nope, pull it out.
Here.
Just pull it out. It'll come right out. Just pull one out. They're gooey. Nope, you need to pull it apart a little bit. So you're going to put that down, pull it apart just a little bit. There you go. Fluff it up. All right, that's enough. Go ahead and put it right inside. You want to create a little hole for it there. Perfect. Grab your match. He's going to use a match today, and we have a thing to light it on there. Whoops. Oh no. Oh no. Retake number 2.
I can't find it. Oh, hands are sticky.
We're not going to stop filming. We're going to keep going here.
Serpent.
Let's see. Let me try. You want to get the lighter instead,
yeah.
Ian? Do you think you could do that one instead? Why don't we go ahead and come down inside? You want to light it right next to it. There you go. It's lit. All right, so now that we got that going, so Ian, I want you to grab a handful of the pencil lead size stuff. Just grab a handful. Yep, just like that. Got it? Bring it on over. And lean it right up against our tinder. Lean it right up against. Just take the whole thing and put the whole thing on top, just like that. Now grab a handful of now we want the pencil size. Grab a handful of that. All right, now you're going to lay that crisscross on it. So you're going to lay it the other way. Just like that, yep. Just like that. Let's get it up on top there. So if you notice, gang, notice how you have oxygen that's able to fuel inside. Our wood shavings caught. Our pencil lead size materials are burning, and it's going to start catching the pencil thickness size itself. Now, Ian, I'm going to have you just grab a couple pieces of the thicker stuff, thumb size. Yep. And then lay those over top of it going the other way, this way. This way. Don't be afraid, Scouts, to reach over and put everything on top there. So you hear all the crackling, that's anything that could possibly be wet in there. There may be some pine, but that's a good sign there. It shows that things are hot enough to catch. You can see everything there that's burning. So that is our fire. So Ian, what'd you think about that, huh? Was that pretty simple?
Yeah.
Pretty easy to go?
Yeah.
A couple little mistakes maybe there, but we're all right, right?
Yeah.
So good little practice, gang, for getting a fire going. Especially the next few weeks here, we're home, so it's a good time to work on your scout skills. So everyone keep doing what you're doing, and stay safe, and keep practicing your skills. It gets a whole lot easier the more you practice. Everyone take care.